Hi everyone, it's Heather from True North Spirit Medicine here today. How are you going? Today I'm going to do the energy reading for April 2022. I'm excited again, which is nice. I like being excited before I do a reading. And it's really interesting, like, I don't have any idea about the content. I think I've said this before. And I quite like that. Sometimes I get a feeling, but I used to be a high school teacher, and you always had to, and you know, an adult education teacher, and you always had to know what you were talking about before you started talking. And this is so different, and I really like it for that. So anyway, today I'm going to use the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. I've used these before. Artwork by, Danielle Knoll. And yeah, this deck just kind of stood out to me this morning. So we'll see how we go. And again, I'll draw the cards, show them to you as we go through, and I'll do the sort of direct channeled message first. Okay, so let's see what we get. Okay, so got 3 cards. I'm just going to have just one of them needs to change position, and then I think we're good to go. Yep, okay, cool. So again, I'll show them to you as we go through. But first, let's see what the spiritual team has to say this morning. Okay. Greetings again to you, my dear ones. Thank you for taking the time to sit with us today and listen to all that we have to bring forth to you. Thank you for opening your heart like beautiful, gentle rosebuds to the possibility that there is more to this life than you see and experience with your 4-dimensional perspective, your 4D eyes, your 4D ears, your 4D cellular structure, all that you have been told to believe that you are a victim of this planet and a victim of circumstance and a victim of your genes and your genetic makeup, a victim of your genetic heritage. It may be surprising to learn that none of that is true. For many of you watching, you are already aware of this. You are already aware of the predispositions that accompany you when you agree to come here to the earth. And for many of you, you are indeed working your light and have been doing so for many years. And for that we say thank you. And we congratulate you for all of the strength and the courage and the boldness that it has taken for you to step outside the realms of possibility which have been taught to you by your culture, your family, your science, your news, all those around you who do not see as we see. For many of you, it has taken great courage to step out of family, out of friends, out of work situations where your alignment has not been met with pleasure and joy and exploration. We understand deeply how challenging this has been for many of you, and we thank you again for surviving the pressures that have been put upon you over the years to come to this state of alignment in this very special time on your planet. We wish to speak of alignment some more, and we ask you to imagine your Milky Way galaxy in all of its beautiful spinning glory as it passes through the great galactic center. This is indeed the shift that we have spoken of for many years, and this is indeed the time for new beginnings, new uprisings, new ideas to be birthed in this beautiful void of infinite possibilities. Please remember that you are in control of all of this. You are in control of the speed of all of this in your own personal lives. How much you wish to step up into the light of your life is up to you. Please remember that the personal is also the global and the universal. So each time each one of you steps up to set a boundary, to take a risk, to speak up for yourself, to birth a new beginning, a new venture, a new business, a new romance, a new life. Each time you do these things, it adds a piece to the puzzle of the great global dance of light. And each time that happens on this planet, it affects everything in your universe. It is like ripples in a pond. You are not insignificant. What you do matters. And it matters greatly at this time. Make sure you take time to receive and access our support. This will become very important in this month to come, this month of April 2022. It's like we want you to lean into us, like you would lean on the back of a big solid tree to rest and enjoy the view at the top of the mountain. It is very important to take time to rest, and rest in nature when you can. For this is our time to give back to you. It's the time the planet and the other energies around you, Gaia herself, can give back to you when you rest. Rest in nature as much as you can. And know that this is not idle work. This is indeed powerful work in the rest. We have some things to say about mathematics. The maths of your planet is incomplete. There is something called base 4 mathematics, which the Egyptians had, and it enabled their great constructions, their great medicines, and their great awakenings that they had all throughout their culture for thousands of years. One day soon you will shift, evolve to this system of mathematics, and it will indeed be a grand day, for this will unlock so many secrets, so many missing pieces to the puzzle, so much wisdom, so much grace, and so many new inventions that will assist you in moving forward in these shifting times. It is coming, dear ones, and it is coming quite soon. We can see it in the field, and it has a great deal of resonance around this potential, which is why we are certain that it will be here soon. in a bigger way. This shift in your system of mathematics, along with the shift to using magnetics as a main power source for all the industries on your planet, will unlock and open and unveil and unfurl so much that you have been waiting for. So many things, new systems of healing, new systems of producing and growing food, new systems of energy production that do not deplete the planet in any way. All of these things and much more are coming, and coming soon. And the reason they are coming soon is because humanity is shifting towards peace. The more peace you have in your heart, the more peace you have on the planet. And the more peace you have on the planet, the more peace vibrates out into the universe. And as these layers of old energy drop away, and the layers of peace and love and compassion and integrity and honor and grace for all increase. And it is this vibration, it is this frequency that matches with the new mathematics, that matches with the new magnetics and energy production. You will see it. Have no fear, have no doubt. You will see it, and you will see it soon. And it will bring great joy to your hearts. Because I can see what is in your hearts, each one of you. And it is joyful. And it is graceful. And the compassion that you carry for yourself and others is indeed magnificent. We honor you for this, for all of this. And we thank you dearly for sitting with us today again and hearing these words of love. And so it is. Aha. That's pretty cool. I like it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Whew. That was pretty awesome. I kind of want to stay there with my eyes closed. It's like when you finish a nice meditation and you just want to sit with your eyes closed for a minute and let it absorb a little bit more. Which feels nice, but isn't so good for camera work. That's quite funny. Okay, I need to open my eyes and do the reading. That was really cool. That was really big, really powerful. I suggest that you make sure that you take some time after watching this video and just rest, Drink some water, lie under a tree, lie on the couch, whatever. Yeah, just let it integrate and absorb. It's like if I do a one-on-one reading or a Reiki treatment with people, I always recommend that they or you, rest afterwards to allow that integration time. It's really important. Okay, cards. So I've got 3 cards. The first one is align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change. And it's quite an interesting picture. It's like a fractured mirror. If you had a mirror that was fractured and you saw yourself in it, kind of looks like that, the image. It's quite lovely though. Get my fingers out the way. Align your life. And they're saying this is, and they're pointing out the roses on the back of this card. They're saying this is connected to your heart space. And they spoke in that beginning channel about something about opening up your heart as well. So leading with your heart is really important. We've been saying this for years, months. The other thing they're saying is that for the month of April, because it's the astrological new year, right? So it's like a new beginning. It's like the, Happy New Year at the beginning of the year, but it's the astrological new year that sort of starts at the March equinox. And I remember actually that the whole April Fool's Day, when you're a kid and it was like April Fool's Day and it was, you'd play pranks or whatever. And at some point in my growing upness, I learned the history behind April Fool's Day, and it's really quite mean because the older cultures, so I guess the indigenous cultures before our current calendar, I was trying to remember if it was the Gregorian or the Julian calendar. So we have a Julian calendar and a Gregorian clock, or a Gregorian clock and a Julian calendar. I often get them mixed up. Anyway, before our current calendar in the West, changed to have January 1st as the beginning of the year. April 1st was the beginning of the calendar year because it was more closely aligned to the astrological new year. And so when the invaders took over and, built churches on the old temple sites and, changed all the old rules, apparently the April Fool's Day thing, so people celebrating the astrological new year, they wanted to kind of overtake that and outlaw that or whatever. And so a way that happened was to make a joke of people who were celebrating the new year at the wrong time. So, oh, you're a fool. You're an April fool because you're celebrating now instead of January when our new calendar says we should. So it's kind of mean, really. Anyway, they're saying that, so this month of April, in particular, is a really potent time for, and they're showing me lots of eggs, like Easter eggs, but better, they're saying. So lots of new beginnings, lots of new births, lots of new projects or businesses or things being launched or, all that kind of stuff. So if you are thinking about starting something new or investing energy in a new relationship or wanting to have a new child, it's a really good time. Yeah, so it's a really good time. And in order to bring the best, they're saying results. In order to bring the best results forward, the best way to do that, to create these new beginnings, is to align with your heart. Okay, makes sense, right? So what is it that makes your heart sing? Do you wake up excited about this new idea, or do you wake up going, oh, I've got to do that thing today? Some days are still tedious, even if you enjoy the work, but you know what I mean. The things that light you up from the inside are the stepping stones to follow, the wisest, the most benevolent, the easiest path. They're saying that when you tune into your heart space and you let that, with your intuition and your intellect and all the other things sort of married in together, of course, but when you lead with your heart and you get sort of sparkly ideas or something, or about something, or you get excited about something, they're saying this is our way. It's like us clearing the path for you. It's like mowing the lawn or shoveling the sand, shoveling the snow out of the way for you. So really listen to that kind of sparkly, ooh, this feels exciting, or it lights you up or it gets you excited and stuff. Yeah, listen to that. Yeah. And the next card has a rose on it, which is interesting. It says the ever unfolding rose, and it says cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And it's quite an interesting image. It's got I'll show you in a sec. It's got a beautiful rose at the front and some sort of columns. I want to say Corinthian columns, but I'm not an architect, so that might be wrong. And sort of like almost like a temple or a sacred kind of door. And at the very beginning, which I nearly didn't see, is a woman with her, head back and her arms outstretched in a position of surrender, I suppose. I almost want to say supplication. So there's the lady right at the front of the card, with the head back, a big beautiful pink rose, the ever unfolding rose, and those lovely kind of temple style avenue and doorway of light at the back of the card. And they're referencing, in relation to this card, they're referencing the bit they said in that opening channel about you are not a victim of this planet. You are not a victim of your genes. You are not a victim of any situation or circumstance. Have a look at the work of particularly Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and others who aren't springing to mind right now, Cryon, of course, who talk about this. And Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza in particular, I've mentioned them to you before, have done real-world, grounded, double-blind, up to quadruple-blind studies using the traditional scientific method to prove that, your consciousness affects your biology and a great deal of other things as well. So if you, excuse me, if you are coming up against challenges or criticisms or judgments or health puzzles to work through for this month of April, and then that's a really important point to remember, that you have control. You have control over your cellular structure. You have control over your perspective, your position, your viewpoint, your thoughts, and the words that come out of your mouth. You have control over, and your vibration, of course. You have control over all of that. It's a really good time to continue with or introduce a new meditation practice. So if you're not meditating regularly, why not? It's really important. It's really important, especially at these times, and particularly for April. I want to say have a look at Pam Gregory. PamGregory.com, I think, is her website, or Pam Gregory on YouTube. Be careful of scam YouTube channels, but you'll find her. I want to recommend looking at some of her astrological videos. It feels like she's in alignment with all of this completely, and she's very lovely and easy to listen to. And I feel like she gives us, it's kind of like a cosmic weather report, and she often gives us the big picture of the energies that are coming in, the planetary energies that are coming in. I find them really useful. They sort of want to recommend her for related to this second card, but particularly for the month of April. Okay, breathe, Heather. Excuse me. I turned my head again. That's funny. Okay, last card. This is really interesting. Priestess. It says, how are you being called to step up and lead? And it's got a priestessy looking lady with lots of sort of turquoise and gold and purple and pinks and aqua in the card, and sort of two lion heads. Maybe they're lionesses. Beside her and beside her. And a really lovely sort of pink galactic pyramid behind her. I think I've said to you before that this deck is new to me, so I don't think I've actually seen this card before. I haven't seen the first card before either, the line one. What's this one? Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Get my fingers out the way. Quite interesting artwork on these cards. Okay, I'm not sure what they want to say about this. I shall close my eyes and ask. They're laughing at me. They think that's funny. Anyway, okay. So what do we want to say about this card? Oh, that's a bit cute. They're saying that I am being, oh, it's cute. They're saying that I am being a good example of stepping up and leading. That's a bit cute. Thank you. I nearly didn't say that because it sounded a bit like I was blowing my own trumpet, but sorry, the memory card was full, so I had to stop and delete some things. So yes, we were talking about stepping up and leading. Oh yeah, and they were saying that, excuse me doing these videos or starting an e-commerce business or expanding my perception of what can be done, you know, as a reader and a healer and all of those kind of things, is helping others to realize that they can do something similar or inspire them in you know, in their own ways, in their own craft or their own business or their own excuse me, spiritual development or whatever it is. So they're like, you can pat yourself on the back. That's quite nice. Oh yeah, and I was saying that sort of felt a bit funny to say because I felt like I was blowing my own trumpet, but it's my job as a channel to tell you what they're telling me, to translate the messages as accurately as possible, even when they're talking about me, which is a bit funny sometimes, but that's okay. So anyway, I did that bit. Let's see if they've got any. It makes me shy. It's funny. Let me see if they've got anything else to say about this priestess card. How are you being called to step up and lead? So again, lead with your heart, lead with your heart, lead with your heart, lead with your heart. They're reminding us of and showing me the pyramid in this card, and they're saying, remember, it's the triad between the heart, the pineal, so and the brain. And remember that the pineal is the at your third eye, in the sort of in the center of your brain, and it's the center for your intuition and insight. So they're showing me like a chakra cleanse, like chakra balance meditation. Doing that as part of your daily meditation practice is really important at the moment in particular. It's important every day. It's like brushing your teeth or brushing your hair, but it's really important at the moment to keep those channels of your own as clear and clean as possible. They're showing me one of those, excuse me, you know, those scrubber things that you use to clean a bottle. It looks like a bottle brush. If you're in Australia, it's a flower with I don't even know how to, do you know what I mean? Please say yes. A bottle scrubbing brush, you know. Anyway, something that can go into a channel, like the top of a bottle or like the center of your energy field, and sort of scrub it out and clean it out. It's quite funny. Yeah, I didn't explain it very well, but I think you know what I mean. Clean your drains, people. Clean your chimney. Clean out your chakras. Clean yourself up. It's really important. I know we're being a bit silly, but it's really important. It's the thing that, remember, they've been talking about anchors and stuff for on and off for a couple of months now. So, you know, doing this sort of daily work where you keep your channels clean and clear, for example, is part of that grounding work, is part of that anchoring work. So you as a light worker, in order to be that lighthouse that shines really brightly from the top, needs to have quite a lot of infrastructure underneath to hold you up in these storms of judgment or you know, going against the cultural mores or whatever it is. And part of that anchoring into this beautiful kind of earth energy underneath us that is here to support us and guide us and love us is this chakra system of ours, which needs to be upgraded and needs to be kept clean and clear. Again, it's like the spark plugs in your car, for example. To keep that internal combustion engine running, it needs that spark that will ignite the fuel, that will give you the power to move the motor. Just like the chakra system in your body needs to be clean and clear to run effectively and efficiently. So they're saying that's one of your main homeworks. Bad grammar, but that's cool. That's okay. You know what I mean. That's one of your main pieces of homework for this month is to work on balancing your own personal chakra system on the daily, literally on the daily. I do it twice a day, at least. Part of my morning meditation and part of my evening meditation is, I forgot to turn the timer back on, is to do that, is to balance my chakras, just take a few moments to breathe into each one of them and check that they're running smoothly. It's nice. It's kind of easy once you get into the flow of it as well. It sort of becomes second nature. And I notice on the days, which is very rare these days, but sometimes you got to sort of get up out of bed quickly. And I notice after not a great length of time, I sort of feel a bit, if I haven't done it, I feel a bit kind of almost like a bit wonky or a bit wobbly or something. It's like, oh, something's not quite right. It's like, hang on. So I'll just take a moment to center and breathe and balance my internal systems. So my external systems, including the rest of my biology and the rest of the people and events and situations around me, can run more smoothly. And they're taking us back to this kind of pathway thing where we lead with our heart, we align our life to our heart, brain, pineal triad, and we lead with our heart with the ever unfolding rose. Take responsibility, you're not a victim. And then we have the greater power, the greater courage, and the greater wisdom to be this priestess or priest, to lead in your own life and perhaps to be, can you see them? To be an inspiration to others, to help them find their way. It's like we can set little candles along the pathway. We're all heading to the same place, home, this beautiful love, that is source energy. So it's like if you're a forerunner or a way shower or a light worker or whatever words you want to use, people who are ahead of the curve of this quantum reality that we live in. It's like if you want to, you can set little tea lights, little candles along the pathway, and then each one of us does that, and then each one of us that comes behind the ones that have come before us, because of course there are many who have come before us as well, even in these changing times post 2012, the path's a little brighter because somebody's walked there before, and then you leave your lights, and then the path's brighter and clearer and easier for those behind us as well. And I giggled a minute ago because I lit this. It's a beautiful one of those rose quartz tea light candle holders, and I lit it just before I started, so it's sitting right here. It's a bit cute. Okay, I might leave it there. Is there anything else? No, they're saying thank you and well done. That's to me and to you. And they're just reminding us of that bit they said in the beginning about resting and resting in nature if you can. I'm lucky enough to still be on my little mountaintop here. And as I look out the window right here, it's just full of trees. And there's a kookaburra sitting on the pool fence, just watching me. It's quite cute. So yeah, just reminding us to connect to nature as much as we can this month, and to rest in nature as much as we can this month. And of course, if you can't get out in nature for whatever reason, you can sit next to a pot plant and it's, as good. It's still dirt and earth. Or you can look at an image of a beautiful nature picture, and ask the energy of Gaia to rise up to meet you. It can be as effective, but the rest is important. The rest and the connection to Gaia energy is important. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you liked the video. That helps. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because that also helps other people see it, and it helps you get reminders when I produce a new video. feel like I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what it is. Never mind. Okay, thank you. Have a lovely day. Thank you for spending time with me. And I'll talk to you soon. Lots of love. Bye.